Hello, my name is Dr. Jessica Kebby. I'm a pianist, educator, and the founder of Mindful Music Pedagogy. I'll start with a brief introduction of myself and then walk you through today's exercise, which is progressive relaxation. So a little about me. I have 3 degrees in piano performance from the University of Kansas, Texas Christian University, and the University of Missouri, Kansas City Conservatory of Music and Dance. My doctoral research focused on musical performance anxiety in children, which first piqued my interest when I was in my 20s, teaching many young children through the TCU Music Prep Division. I noticed several students struggling, and I sought out resources, but I didn't find any that addressed musical performance anxiety in children. So when I started my doctoral degree, I knew that was going to be the area of focus for my dissertation research. I studied sports psychology, education, child development, general childhood anxieties, and music education, and connected the dots between childhood anxiety research done in those areas with music instruction. The outgrowth of that is my website, workbook, and guided audio resources, which you can find at mindfulmusicpedagogy.com. Now, even though my research focused on musical performance anxiety in children, the tools that I studied and developed apply to everyone, regardless of musical training or age. Throughout my research, one thing that persisted as I studied how anxiety manifests across multiple disciplines was the idea that we learn best and are the most productive when we are in a positive, relaxed, connected frame of mind. There are many ways to get there, so today's exercise is just one tool. I do invite you at any point to pause this video in order to process the information or to practice the exercise at your own pace. Now, before introducing the exercise, I'll share just a little bit about the benefits of progressive relaxation with you. A common complaint of musicians is that their bodies do not respond in performance in the same ways as they do in practice, often due to increased physical tension and/or inadequate concentration. Determining whether errors in performance are a result of physical tension or mental distraction can be difficult, but regardless of which is primarily at fault, physical tension and cognitive disruptions fuel each other and can cause inconsistency in performance if left unchecked. Today's session will focus on the body and physical tension. Musicians benefit from having an awareness of their physical and mental states when practicing. By developing this awareness, we can train our minds and bodies to work together to remain consistently calm in performance. Freedom from physical tension allows performers to focus and enables them to realize their full potential by operating at a level of increased awareness while trusting practiced techniques. Developing the ability to observe the signs of physical tension will help us understand what we are feeling and will serve as a reminder to implement specific coping techniques. With practice, we can hone the ability to regulate muscular tension, which allows us to become aware of the muscle groups in our body, to be able to sense when and where tension is present, and to release that tension quickly. One method for developing such awareness is the study of progressive relaxation. Developed by Dr. Edmund Jacobson, progressive relaxation is the intentional creation and release of muscular tension, moving from one muscle group to another throughout the body. The goal of this skill is to train the mind to recognize when and where tension is present in the body and to release it. As the skill is perfected, greater muscular awareness is achieved, allowing for tension release of specific muscle groups on command. Musicians who develop such awareness and practice conscious tension release will be able to recognize and decrease any physical tension that interferes with their performance ability, allowing them more freedom of motion and comfort. Once this technique has been mastered during practice sessions and lessons, musicians will be able to transfer this concept to performance situations, allowing them to perform technical skills with the amounts of tension and relaxation similar to what they experience during private practice sessions. Progressive relaxation offers a concrete skill that musicians can easily replicate on their own. To do this, you start at the top of your body, identifying large muscle groups, and you work your way down through your toes, constricting and then relaxing each large muscle group by name. Hold each constriction for 5 seconds and then release. As you do this, name the feeling you have when constricting the muscles. Maybe it feels crunchy or tight. The name doesn't have to make sense to anyone but you, but give it a clear, simple name. This allows the brain to create a shortcut to that feeling in those muscles in order for you to do this exercise quickly on command when under pressure. When you release the muscle group, also identify that feeling with a word or image that makes sense to you. One thing to keep in mind as you work through this exercise is that the goal is to only constrict and relax the specific muscle group you've identified. As you do this exercise regularly, you'll become better at this, but for now, if you realize that other muscles are sympathetically tensing or releasing, just remind them to be patient and try not to engage. It may help you to place your hands on the muscle group that you're working on to provide a tangible sensation to that area. So let's try this. Get nice and comfortable. And we're going to start with the scalp and face. So again, if you want to, you can touch as you do this. So starting with the scalp and face, you're going to scrunch up or constrict those muscles, hold for 5 seconds, and name that feeling. So here we go. Then you release that and name that feeling. Feel free to pause the video and do this as many times as you need to on different areas of the body as we move through. The next area would be your shoulders and neck. So again, you're going to squeeze the muscles for 5 seconds and name that feeling. Then release and name that feeling. We're going to continue moving through the body, through the arms and fingers. So constrict those muscles and hold for 5 seconds. Name that feeling. Then release the muscles and name that feeling. Now we're going to move down to the abdomen and lower back. Constrict that area for 5 seconds and name that feeling. Then release and name that feeling. Finally, move down to your legs and toes. Contract those muscles for 5 seconds. Name the feeling. Then release and name that feeling. Now take a moment and scan through your body. Are there areas where you notice particularly large amounts of tension? As you practice this exercise, you may notice the persistence of tension in the same areas. If that's the case, you can isolate those spots and then work in smaller muscle groups within that area to identify even more specifically your feelings. Each time you do this, you're strengthening the shortcut from your brain to your body that will allow you to release that tension on command when you're under stress. Enjoy!